1874, the year that was in American history, the great city of Chicago is ravaged by fire, again destroying roughly 47 acres and taking lives of 20 people. Also in that year, Levi Strauss begins production of his now famous work pants, a new patent design that reinforced blue jeans with rivets. To the east, New York adds the West Bronx to their city, amassing exponential growth. To the south, the James Young Gang steals 30,000 from a Kansas train, which is now estimated to be worth $828,000. The eventful year birthed some of the greatest people in history, including Harry Houdini, Robert Frost, Herbert Hoover, Winston Churchill, and John D. Rockefeller. And it was also the year in which Pastor Moore founded Mandarin's most prized possession, Mandarin United Methodist Church.
It all began when Reverend Dr. Theophilus Wilson Moore rode his horse into town as the first pastor for Mandarin United Methodist Church. Since then, the Mandarin community experienced immense challenges, freezes in the 1890s that destroyed the citrus industry, the Great Fire in downtown Jacksonville in 1901, and 2 world wars. The church endured these times, holding worship in 2 locations before buying 10 acres in the early 1960s. The determination of these generations would build a legacy for us now to look back on.
My name is Mary Alice Downey, and I joined the church in 1977. We began visiting, and the church had about 350 members. And in visiting, we thought, that little church needs us. So we joined.
I guess Alex said we've been fed here literally and spiritually. So in '83, there was an ice cream social here, and at the prodding of a little bit of prodding from Chancellor and Sue Ellen Kinsley, we both attended, met for the first time.
That's history.
And the rest is history. I don't know how far you want to go, but we dated here, got married here, raised our children here, baptized them. Now our grandchildren are here. So it's been a nice 40 years at Mandarin.
Well, when I came in 1982, I was a former Duval County school teacher, and we only had 4 buildings. We didn't have this office building. We didn't have the Family Life Center. We didn't have learning ladders. And I could put my arms around these oak trees. That's how long.
There have been so many changes. We had a groundbreaking for the Casey Mogul building, and we had shovels, and for the official groundbreaking.
When we built this building, we needed to make some money fast. So we decided to do a Broadway show. And we didn't even have time to audition. I just said, you'll do this part, you'll do this part, you'll do this part. Of course, our first Broadway show was Bye Bye Birdie, and it was about 1987.
The choir room was the sanctuary. Then it became the fellowship hall.
I think when we did the 100th anniversary, the pastors were on horseback, which was really cool. We all had on the old hats and the long skirts. We had dinner on the grounds. We're all part of that heritage.
In the last 50 years, the congregation developed many creative ways to open its doors to the community. Children have been welcomed to learning ladders, vacation Bible school, and upward sports. Others have cherished a yearly tradition of attending the craft festival, the pumpkin patch, or the Christmas tree lot. Alongside these initiatives, the church continued to grow, making Mandarin United Methodist Church one of the largest Methodist churches in Northeast Florida. In recent years, the leaders at Mandarin responded to the rapid growth in St. Johns County. and sent Pastor Jeff St. Clair with a group of pioneers to start a new campus called Longleaf.
In 2019, after 3 years of intentional planning, Longleaf Church was born. It was a true honor to be the founding pastor of Longleaf Church, to be able to see it from conception, to be able to see it through its launch, and to be able to see it through its early years and even through the challenges that it faced early on, and to be able to see it come through into a season of newness, of renewal. And I left Longleaf and Mandarin with a content heart, knowing fully that pastorally, it was going to be well taken care of. That Britt Gilmore, Missy Hart, and now Kevin Griffin, who was a dear friend of mine, Longleaf and Mandarin, you both are blessed at this 150-year mark.
In 2000, Bert Robinson had gone to an Upward meeting, and he had gotten fired up about it and was looking for people to work with him on it. So I jumped in there, and we started off, and I think the first season we had 60 kids in there. Pretty soon after we opened up and we started having parents and grandparents come in, we realized that we were talking to kids and exposing them to the gospel who were 3 generations removed from any kind of church activity. They hadn't gone to church ever, their parents hadn't, and their grandparents hadn't. But through sports, we were able to touch not only the kids and give them a solid foundation, but we touched a lot of the adults. We brought a lot of people into the congregation because they came here and they said, well, you know, if the back of it is so good back there and the people are so nice, why don't we go up front on Sunday?
My family and I joined this church in 1992, I believe. I went through youth here. I unloaded pumpkins. I went on mission trips. This was my family, when I was in high school. For them to be able to experience what I experienced here in these same buildings, it's pretty special. And the fact that, they're like literally following in my footsteps. I don't know that they think that's cool, but I think it's awesome.
I came up through, I guess it was children's ministry at the time, and then went on into youth. And those are formative years. And that was around the start of the pumpkin patch when I was in youth at the time. They would go on different mission trips. And the adults at that time that were involved, they were the ones that I think had a greater impact on me. So I kind of view it as this, it's almost like a legacy of love where somebody put that care in at a certain point, and then if I'm able to do that again for somebody else, then hopefully it lights that fire for them to do that for somebody else too.
Mandarin is a 150-year-old story. And, I'm very proud to say that over the last 40 years, I've had a part in that story. And I think you'll find that with a lot of our people.
For as long as I remember, I've been waking up on a Sunday morning and coming to church. And the fact that it's like 150 years old is just really kind of baffling to me, because it's just something that I now have a part of, and I'm in the history of this. And in like another 150 years, I was here.
I'm McKenna Rankin, and I'm 10, and I've been at this church since I was 4. I think it's just amazing how long it's been here, and it's just grown so much, and I'm excited for it to grow more.
I wish you the happiest 150th anniversary. I'm thrilled to have been part of the life cycle of the church. It's been great to be here, and I can't wait to continue being here for the rest of my life and just that little bit of yours.
Happy 150th anniversary, Mandarin United Methodist Church.
Happy birthday, Mandarin!
Happy birthday to Mandarin United Methodist Church.
All the way from the Snowbelt region of northwestern Pennsylvania. Happy 150th birthday, Mandarin United Methodist Church.
As we mark 150 years, we give thanks for God's goodness and steadfast love, and for the resilience and service of all who have gone before us. We also celebrate that God's story among us is still unfolding, and that new faces will play a part in welcoming, worshiping, and serving in this place. We will continue to know God's love, grow in God's love, and go in God's love together. Happy 150 years, Mandarin.
I just think about 150 years. Wouldn't that circuit rider who came across the river in a boat to preach, wouldn't he be just shocked at this? And so the fact that 150-year anniversary, it's kind of like the birthday or the birth year of Mandarin. And that reminds me of a song. Hit it, Sandy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. 150 years, dear Mandarin. Happy birthday to you, and many more.
150 is old.